Alright, so apparently the last video that I uploaded on the lamination mode, my cursor mouse was not, somehow it wasn't actually on the screen. It was just on my black edge, so I was like, oh, that really sucks. So I've gone ahead and decided to recreate this. So a couple of things I wanted to go over. I have been watching quite a bit of YouTube videos myself on trying to learn the Uninet iColor 250 machine. It has so far been amazing. I've had my struggles, and I've also had a lot of enjoyment from this machine. One of the things I definitely wanted to go ahead and try to do is lamination mode. And so for me, lamination mode means that I will be able to start producing waterproof stickers, as well as like car stickers and labels and decals, and just different things that you can put these cute little images on, that can actually withhold some water. Now keep in mind, it does depend very highly on the actual paper that you use when you put any kind of sticker, of course, on like a tumbler or water bottle, anything like that, because of the fact that it has condensation on it. So keep that in mind. But this, ideally, when you put it in lamination mode, should make the actual top side of the image not have the ink run. Okay, so let me go ahead and get started on how we go ahead and put the machine in lamination mode. So first of all, the elimination mode is not turned on in this program. Now, when you get the Uninet iColor 250, you do get this software, which is the custom cut software. And I decided, let's go ahead and print the sticker. Okay. Now, first of all, the Silhouette Studios design program is very similar to the custom cut, as well as Photoshop. I am not very familiar with Photoshop. I think I've saved maybe 4 or 5 photos or images on that. I do a lot of design work, and I typically design it through my Silhouette Studios. But some images, I need to get really good crystal clear backgrounds and whatnot, or be able to clean up a picture really good, and Photoshop's really good at that. My daughter's amazing with Photoshop. I'm not so much. However, Photoshop and the layering is very similar in this custom cut. Okay, so first of all, what we're going to go do is show you how to make sure that this image is first going to be actually printed and cut correctly. And I do apologize if you hear some kittens squeaking in the background. I have a little kittens in the room with me, and they're playing. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. So what you do is you click on the image here, and this is the one that we're going to go ahead and make sure it's going to print and cut. So you can click on it here, and then it comes down here in this layering section. And if you notice down here, this one kind of highlights over here, so you know that you're on that one. So this portion of it is where Photoshop comes in for me, not Silhouette Studios. But right down here, very, very critical that you actually pay attention to your cut lines, as well as your print area. So what you do is you hit on this little arrow that's pointing to the right, and it drops it down. So it has all of them highlighted. You don't want to check on them this way. What I do is I just click on one. This is the image. We only want the image to be printed. So when we click on that, we need to come up here to where it shows the wrench. And when you click on that, this is the cut line type. This here, you want it to be print only, because we're only going to be printing the image. You have options of cut only, print and cut. I did try some on print and cut, and it totally messed up. So I only do print only, and it does seem to only print. All right, so now we're going to come down right underneath that image to where it shows the red little outline, which is the actual cut line. Okay, now this is an offset cut, so it's going to not cut it right up to the image. So I did have to trace it and do an offset on it. I will do a video later on of how to do that. For this one, we're trying to show you how to do lamination mode. So when you do this one here, you'll come up here and you notice it says cut only. That's exactly what it needs to do. We do not want it to do a print and cut. If you do that, it will show So one of these, I think it was a print to cut when I did it, if I'm not mistaken, it actually did not do a white outline. I did it on a sticker sheet, and it ended up like not doing correctly, and it looked like it actually printed to wood. So I can honestly tell you with this, I only do this with a cut only. Printed cut did not work well for me. I might do a couple more sticker things just to see exactly what that button's used for, but for the lamination mode, it definitely is just straight up cut only and print only. And I can check the top image, which is this one here. So you click on that and you just double click, nope, not double click, excuse me. You just click on the right arrow and then it drops it down. And again, you just want one click on the image, making sure it's on the print only, one click on the red outline, it is cut only. That is perfect. All right. And you can just leave it like that. It doesn't have to be squished up or anything like that. So these images are great to go. Now, one last thing that I like to do while I'm in this program is up here on the very top of the edge where it shows print and preview. If you hit preview, this is going to show you your cut lines. So this way you can just double check just to make sure one, your lines are in the area. This is like Silhouette Studios or Cricut. It does not want you to, of course, cut off of the white area, okay? One thing to keep in mind, though, this will yell at you. Not physically yell, but it's going to flash and it's going to say you can't cut. If this image is dragged too far down or that cut line is off of this white area, it's going to yell at you and say that your image is off the printing area. And I tried to force it through, and mine was not allowing me to force through. It literally had me have to redo it and re-get it cut. It was kind of a headache because I was like, what in the world? It was like my second cut. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize it was literally off a little bit. But there is no matte with the iColor Uninet 250. So you definitely do want to make sure you've got it directly on here because of the fact that you'll be thinking, oh, it might hit the matte. There's no matte, but one thing to keep in mind is the actual paper is wider than this area here, okay? Because this is only the 4¼ and the actual sticker paper, I believe, is 4.75, not 4.25. So it does give you about ½ inch on each side, okay? Now on here, I just like to make sure that this shows the show cut lines. Now I did try to do the show printable. This has actually worked. This one little button here has worked for me about 80% of the time. There was one time I was trying to do a sticker sheet. It didn't show all the stickers up or the images up. It still printed and cutted them, but it just didn't show it here. So I'm not sure if I was just having maybe a software issue or whatnot. But this will only show you just the printable. If you have the show cut lines, that's where that comes in. So this is just for just a double checking purpose. Now, you go ahead and put it in lamination mode. We come out of this program. You leave this alone and you go ahead and you go into your print hub. So this is the print hub, and this is actually gets the printer going, okay? So over here on the very last tab where it says printer settings, we're going to go ahead and click on that, and then you're going to go to the advanced settings. This is in the middle, this big fat button here. You just click on that, and then you don't touch anything here. You scroll all the way down, and where it shows advanced iColor 250. Now, this here is the lamination mode. When you first start this up, this is going to be unclicked. And for me, again, I did have some type of issue, and the first time I did it and I clicked on it, it came to me this way, and I clicked on it. It's like, oh, let's go ahead and put in lamination mode. It said savings. I'll say change is saved. I clicked awesome. Okay. Did a print. It didn't push the image out for me to laminate on because it needs to print it, push the image out, let you put the self-adhesive lamination label on the top, and then it sucks it back in and goes forward. It did not allow me to do that. So it was like, okay, let's try this again. I pretty much had to do this about 3 times, and then finally what I did is I clicked on it, I clicked the OK, I closed out of it, I went back into it, and then I just double checked it to make sure it was clicked. I was like, awesome, that's sweet. Now the second thing that you need to do is when you put it in that lamination mode is you need to come up to where it shows XY cutter, click on that button, and on your knife pressure, if this is not in lamination mode, this is going to be at 0, 0, okay? You do not need the knife pressure to be any harder than 0, 0 when you're just doing a normal sticker, okay? With the lamination mode, you will need it to cut at least at the 23, 24. Now the manual that comes with the custom cut stated to put it at 25. 25 for me actually cut through the backing of my label, and so I sell my labels and my sticker sheets, and so for me that was just too unprofessional. So I backed down on knife pressure just a wee bit, and I put it at 24, and then the last sticker sheet I did at 23, and both of them was perfectly fine. Now keep in mind there is no mat on this thing, so pretty much it's just cutting directly on your sticker sheet or your label sheet, and if it's too much pressure, it's going to cut through it and possibly damage either your blade or your machine. So keep that in mind. Nothing else on here needs to be touched. And then at this point, you can keep that there, you can close it out, doesn't really matter. But now we're going to go ahead and print, and there. Alright, and here is my current setup for the Uninet i250 printer, and we are going to do a lamination. My husband's going to go ahead and hit the print button now. So I do have it to where I have it on the continuous labels, I believe is what it's called, but I have it where I have the feed option pause, so it's not going to suck it in to cut it. It's only printed it out. So that's going to go ahead and give me the opportunity to come over here to my actual lamination self-adhesive sticker. And now this one here, these are the 4 1/4 by 6 inch label lamination. So that means that this one here, I don't think you can see this, but this one's already perforated right there. So I'm actually going to just cut that one off and use that later, because I definitely do stickers that are going to be that size. But that I'm going to put over here. I'm going to go ahead and grab this here, and I'm going to pull it through this one here. Let me just take a look. That one, ooh, that one's actually, you could almost say it's borderline, but when you put that offset on there, it's definitely going to go over. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and just give it a little bit of extra, and I just manually cut it. Now I can use this lamination stand to go ahead and cut it, because there are 2 blades here. But this just is honestly easier for me, because I really don't want it to open up and spread out. I don't have enough orders yet to accommodate that aspect of it, in my opinion. But with here, this is how you use this. This is just an actual self-adhesive lamination sticker. So we're just going, a label, I guess you should say. So you take it off here carefully, okay? Now this is where the lamination stand comes in, because you really do need it to be at least an even height. This is actually, in my opinion, just still a wee bit lower. And this is the one that Uninet sells. But I went ahead and we just grab it like this. Slowly move it on there, so that way we can kind of avoid any kind of air bubbles. Now I do have 2 other items that I use as well, which everyone's going to be familiar with this if you're used to a Silhouette Studios. And then I also have this roller. I got this off of Amazon. I'll post a link below. But with this here, what I do is I just kind of just whoosh it on there. That's going to go ahead and help you get rid of some of your air bubbles. And then I just kind of do that. And you can honestly feel it. It feels pretty good right now. And then what I do is you just hit the speed button. That's going to go ahead and suck it back in there. The blue light means that it's in cut mode. So it's now going to cut the laminated stickers. And there you have it. So now we have, make sure this looks good for you guys here. So now we have 2 laminated stickers, and this is directly off of the cut. And let me see if I can get this to focus to see if there's any air bubbles. Because right now, I mean, if you're going to be posting this or selling these, you definitely want to make sure you are making sure it's a clean, smooth cut. And don't know if you can kind of see it, but you kind of got the adhesive look on there. So how I personally get rid of that, and I don't know if the camera's able to pull that up. I'm trying to get as close as possible so you can see that. I don't know if you can see it at all. Let's see if I can get this to take that. Oh, there you go. On the top right one, you can kind of see, well, I can't see it myself. Right up here, you can kind of see how it's just a little bit of like the line air bubble. So what I do to get rid of that, okay, is I would take this, now that it's flat, because over here you do have a little bit of an edge. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but that edge is where, and this is just a universal monitor. I did do an unboxing on this. It is a good height for this, but I'm probably going to have my husband put some pieces of wood underneath it just to height it up just a little bit. But ideally what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to make sure that this here is completely flat, and then I would look on that to see And that's not exactly right where I need it just yet, but I'll just take this and I'm going to apply some pressure on that. Just like if you're putting a vinyl thing on anything, you want to make sure those air bubbles are gone. And these will be in my shop, and so I definitely want to make sure my customers are completely satisfied. And this will make it sure this sticker is something that you can put on your tumbler, you can put on your vehicle, and because of the fact that it is a type of vinyl, it's a polyurethane type of paper, the back side of it's very, very strong. It's actually a little bit stronger than the vinyl is what they advertise. And by putting the lamination on the top, that does make it waterproof, so those colors will not run. Now, if it's UV protected against the sun, I'm not sure. I have not yet tested that portion out, but if you can take a look at that now, that looks really good. That looks amazing. You don't have those little line air streaks, which a normal laminator would actually have taken those out because of it being heat, but this is a self-adhesive one. If you've ever dealt with self-adhesive lamination sheets, you know how much of a pain in the butt it can be to have those itty bitty little air bubbles, which it may just be me because I'm really intent on making sure I get a good crystal clear product, but take a look at that. And now we can go ahead and peel that cut really quick here. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Very clean cut. There's no weird edges, nothing for me to have to, you know, cut away, because sometimes you do have that when you're cutting, you have little bits and pieces. And that was with the setting of, I think it was 24 on the laminated, because this makes your sheet thicker. Now, one thing to keep in mind is you do want to make sure that your board is kind of clear of these little white pieces. These are white pieces, well, actually from the laminating machine. This here, when my husband put the lamination roll, and this is an actual pre-cut 6 label, 4¼ by 6 inch label lamination sheet. This here just sets in there. It's not in a roll or anything like that. So I mean, this kind of locks it into place, and this is supposed to open up so that way you can pull the sheet, you can, you know, rip it off or whatnot, because this is blades, so you can cut it, so you don't necessarily need the scissors. But these blades are kind of let me see if I can pop this side off. They are very sharp, but they're rigid. So I don't really like that rigid look, kind of like when you're doing like aluminum foil and you're cutting it and it has that rigid. I don't really want that to be on a professional commercial sticker that I'm selling to people. So I was like, yeah, I'd rather just manually hand cut it myself. These are 6 inch, and I do sell my sticker sets, which is right here, at 6 inch. So you can definitely see here, one of those labels right smack on there would make it look absolutely perfect. Which honestly, this type of sticker, do you really need it laminated? If you're putting it on a tumbler or any kind of cup that is going to get any kind of moisture or water or anything on there, those colors will streak if water gets attached. So if you want to put these on your cell phone, my daughter had a couple of stickers that she had me do on the Silhouette machine, and I have a laser printer. And when I did the stickers on that, she wasn't able to rub them off at all. However, when I do them on an inkjet, or, you know, like with these printer, you may have that. So with this machine, they do say that the pigment one is supposed to be able to be more weather resistant. I have not yet tested it out. I'm just doing the lamination on the top just for my own peace of mind. But with the lamination sheets, you do have the option of the 4 inch, which is right here. This is the 4 inch. So it's not the actual 4 1/4, which is how wide our actual sticker paper is, or the sticker label paper is, but it is a 4 inch by the 3 inch. And then you have the option of 4 inch by 6 inch. I don't know if they are yet having the continuous roll yet. I think you have to special order that one, and when you do, you have to do it in a huge bulk order. But I would double check on that. But honestly, this is working out perfect. I'm just doing smaller stickers right now. But yeah, this is what I just wanted to show you guys. I would definitely go ahead and, you know, just make sure you do a couple of test print cuts on yours just to make sure it looks good. But yeah, I like my setup so far. I'm really impressed with the machine. And I'll have some more videos on calibrating it and all of that good stuff. Thanks so much for watching.